Hi everyone, so this is my complete bare face with nothing on my face except for like moisturizer and lip balm. I was starting to get ready. Usually I do my eyebrows first and then I do my whole face just because my eyebrows take the longest time. But while I was doing my eyebrows, as you can see, they're like super sparse because I've been trying to reshape them and trying to get them as even as possible because they are quite uneven. It was like in the process of doing my brows and I was watching Wendy Williams because I love watching Wendy Williams, and I usually play Wendy Williams while I'm getting ready to film or anything. So while I was doing my brows, I realized maybe I should film how to like even out your brows, like if you have uneven brows like myself, because in my photos my brows obviously look even and in my videos they look even, but in reality they're not at all. Then I decided to completely wipe off my brows, turn off Wendy Williams, and film this for you guys. Obviously our eyebrows are not the same. Everyone has completely different brows, and these are just like my little tips and tricks on how I even out my brows, and even when I work on my clients, kind of how I do it. I usually work on both sides at the same time. I never really do one by one just because like they're so different. Like if I were to do this one first, this one would follow the regular shape and this one would follow its regular shape, and then it'd just be a mess. I'm excited to do this talk through video for you guys because I haven't done a talk through video in so long. The reason why it's really hard to do a talk through video for me is because usually when I film, my kids are upstairs like running around. Also editing is a lot harder, but I feel like for this video a talk through is probably the best. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy this and find this helpful, and let's go ahead and get started. The product I'm going to use is the Dip Brow Pomade in the color Chocolate from Anastasia. Trick to using this product is to use as little as possible. Like literally a little goes a long way, and I've had this for over a year now, and I've barely made like a dent on the first layer. So the middle right here is a little bit dried out. And so what I do is I usually just like go on the outsides, and I usually get a little bit on my brush. I don't know if that's gonna pick it up, but I usually get a little bit on my brush, and then in the middle, since it's dry, I usually like flatten it and kind of spread it on both sides, and then make the end of my brush like super sharp. So just a little bit like that. So what I do first is I usually outline the bottom, and I kind of like outline my brows how I want it to look. I'm gonna zoom you guys in a little bit closer, as you can really see like the flaws on my face. I'm gonna start off on the bottom. I usually like map out the bottom first, and then I have like these bald spots on the arches of my brows that I don't think are ever gonna come back, or it's ever gonna grow back pretty. So I'm not really following the shape of my brows. And now for this side, see how it's like super arched? I don't really like that. And so I'm gonna like connect a line from right here to over here. So it makes my eyebrows like a little bit more full, and I have like this bald spot right there. So I'm just gonna fill that in and then do light strokes to fill that in. See, they're slowly starting to kind of look alike. I'm right-handed, so this is my like the eyebrow that's easier for me to do. So I don't know, it's really complicated, but this one is like a little bit more arched, and the hairs on this one grows down, and then the hairs right here grow up, but this side, like all the hairs grow like beautifully. So it's just kind of hard, and I have like a bald spot right there, and this side is full right here, so I have to like kind of balance that out. As you can see, this is like full, and this one looks like it's going like that naturally. So now I'm gonna start to fill in the beginning of my brows, and I'm just doing light strokes. So you can really see how uneven my brows are right now. I'm gonna fill in the beginning of this brow. So since right here doesn't have that much hair, I kind of have to fake it. So another thing about brows is like one side always comes in more than the other. This one kind of stops like right here. You see like where the inner corner of my eye is, and this one like ends like right on the side of my nose. So I like to bring this side in a little bit more because I don't like my eyebrows too far apart. So now I'm going to start to fill in the rest of the brow. So this eyebrow always looks a little bit more full because of the way the hair goes right here. And I have more hair down here than on this side. I'm gonna start to fill in the bottom down here to make it as full as this side. Since this side's always like higher and this side's always thinner and lower in the beginning, you know, I fill in the top and the bottom here to even it out with this side. So it's okay if it's a little bit messy because we're gonna go in and clean it up with concealer. So now for the tail, and this honestly is probably my biggest pet peeve. I don't even know how to explain it, but the tail is just the hardest part. So I like this tail, but this tail gives me the most difficult time. So you kind of have to pick and choose what you want. So since this brow is the good brow and this one's the bad one, my tip is to go with the bad brow because the good one is easier to manipulate than the bad one. That's just my opinion. That's usually what I do. So I usually make the shape on my bad one first. So I like my eyebrows to come down. I don't really like, you know, my eyebrows going too far out. So I really just follow this guideline right here, and then I just begin to fill. Now the hardest part about filling in the tail of this one is this top part right here. I do really light and small strokes. And I also like the tail of my brows to be a little bit more full. I don't really like a sharp thin line. That's just my personal preference. And I'm just filling in like any sparse area. I know it's like coming out really far right now, but I just like to fill in sparse areas and then clean it up later with concealer. Now I'm gonna take a spoolie and just kind of brush that out to make it a little bit more even. My brow bone on this side comes out a little bit more, so it always makes my eyebrows look a little bit more round on this side, whereas this side's kind of more flat, and so my eyebrow always looks a little bit more straight. I don't like how there's such a big like curve. I don't like a curve at all. I just want it kind of straight, but I'll come back to that and I'm gonna finish this. Now I'm just gonna follow this arch. So I'm not gonna add any more to the outside, maybe a little bit to fill in the sparse areas, but I'm gonna focus on adding more product right here. This side doesn't have any like roundness to it, which I like, but this side has like, you know, it's like it goes like this, I feel like, and this side's just a little bit more straight down, and I don't like, you know, too much curve. So I like to fill in this part right here to make it look a little bit more straight. And then down here I'm gonna fill in a little bit right here just to make the bottom a little straighter. I also like to leave a piece of paper towel because product does add up on the brush, and then I just like kind of swipe it back and forth to get any excess product that has dried up on the brush off. My brows never look the same every single time because it's just how I feel that day. So now I feel like making them a little bit fuller today. Now I'm gonna go in with my MAC Studio Finish Concealer in NC20 and a angled synthetic brush, I'm just gonna go in and clean it up and get the shape that I want. Now I'm going to go in with the Morphe E14 brush and use that to blend out the concealer. After I'm done filling the bottom of this one, I'm going to go in and do this one before I do the outside. And I'm gonna begin to clean up the top part. Alright, so that is about as even as I can get them because like I said, I am reshaping my brows and trying to shape them to be as even as possible. So it makes it a little bit harder when I fill them in. I know it looks a little harsh right now because I did make them a little thicker than I usually do. And because I don't have anything else on my face, it just looks like a lot. So that completes this talk through tutorial. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Please let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it. And please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And yeah, I will talk to you all later. Bye.